Welcome to a lecture in the RICS APC Essentials course. This course is crafted in order to help those who want to get chartered with the RICS under the quantity surveying route. The course aims at getting your understanding of different areas of competencies from level 1 knowing, going to level 2 doing, and then ending by level 3 advising. In this lecture, we're going to be discussing how you can write a proper case study for your RICS APC submission. It's going to be quite a wealthy lecture, and we're going to be discussing a wide variety of them topics in it. In this lecture, we're going to be discussing the following. We're going to be starting by showcasing what are the learning objectives of this lecture, and then we're going to be shedding some light on the RICS APC assessment framework. We're going to expand on the case study selection criteria and how you can present your case study in the best possible logic. I'm going to be exploring how you can define an issue that you're going to be working on, in addition to understanding how you can build or establish the client's requirements. We're going to be also expanding on the option analysis, how you can come up with options, how you can analyze the options in order to showcase that the case has proper value. We're going to be discussing how you can integrate different competencies in the case study, as well as how you can write the competencies in level 3 language. We're going to be also discuss some common mistakes and pitfalls that candidates tend to do when writing the case study, as well as presenting a quality assurance checklist. This is going to be discussed in the first part of this lecture. In the second part of this lecture, we're going to be showcasing a sample case study that you can take some inspirations from. And now, without further ado, let's get started. After you finish this lecture, you're going to be capable of the following. You're going to know how you can choose a case study in the first place to be compelling enough for the assessors. You're going to also be capable of choosing the issue or the substantial issue in the case study and understand how you can present this issue in the most structured logic possible in your presentation as well as your submission itself. You're going to also build some skills about how you can write the case study in level 3 language, because at the end of the day, you have to showcase that you can provide reasoned advice to the client. And lastly, you're going to have broad understanding about how you can present your selected issue, case study, and options in the most compelling way possible to the RICS APC assessors. As you might know, the assessors of the RICS APC, they rely on having 3 main levels when assessing any sort of competency. The first level is knowing, which is all about your understanding of the area of competency, as well as your research, what you have seen in your company, and how you have shadowed your colleagues in order to build a broad understanding about each and every single area of competence. The second level is doing, which represents how you have taken ownership of some tasks. And there you can find the I did statements. I did, I undertook, I was responsible for X, Y, and Z, and the likes. Level 3 is all about the reasoned advice. So it's not just about taking ownership of a task, but also trying to reach excellence in this task and proposing feasible options for development and showcasing how your advice was undertaken and applied in reality, taking into account the cost, time, and quality impact of your advice, and sometimes even extending to the risk impact as well. There are some criteria for choosing a case study. So when you're choosing a case study, make sure that you have been really involved in it over the last 24 months before your assessment. You're not just a mere observer. Also make sure that you're choosing your issues or your issue carefully, because not everything is really an issue. It has to be something that is really deep in the case study. Make sure that you are proposing multiple feasible options and not just theoretical or hypothetical options, which is going to say a lot about how you're accounting for the client requirements. And make sure to combine your advice, which is basically level 3, in the different areas of competencies to the case study. And there are some stuff that you have to avoid as well. As we have alluded before, you have to make sure that your options are feasible and not just hypothetical. And unfortunately, a lot of them candidates, they try to fill in the gaps by proposing some of them options and then saying at the end that unfortunately the client rejected it because it wasn't in line with the client requirements. So this means that the option was not feasible in the first place. That is one of the things that you have to be really careful about. Another thing which you have to avoid is providing options without quantifiable outcomes in terms of time, cost, quality, and risk outcomes. Ourselves as QSs and cost consultants, we have to see numbers in order to make the best sense of what we are reading. Make sure that you are presenting your options, taking into account numeric outcomes, and then at the end, after presenting all your options, you have to make sure that you have a summary table which tackles all of them options, the time, cost, and quality impact of all of them options, in addition to a benchmark that you are comparing these options to. It's also worthy to note that you have to evade projects where you were just an observer or you were shadowing one of them senior QSs and you're just a doer. Some people tend to lie in their case studies, which is not a great practice, and it's going to be spotted by the assessors. You also have to avoid any issues which would have only one solution. For example, you might have one of them clients who is passing by a very difficult financial situation. It would make sense that the client will have to postpone the works till later until they have more monies. That will be the only solution available. If you're failing to choose a case study with issues or an issue that has multiple solutions or options to sort it out, then this means you have to pick up a different issue or different issues. And this is all for this video, which is meant to be an extended trailer or a teaser. And if you want to have full access to the full length, the recorded videos, the notes, the presentations, and the question answer banks, do not hesitate to get enrolled on the APC Essentials course on the APC Mastery Path web portal, and you can make the best use of a coupon code which is APC35 for a 35% discount. All the best in your APC journey. Thanks a lot for watching, and catch you in the next video.